Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live for Knives Live 2021 for knife rights, and it's an amazing cause, and I am happy to be a part of it. I think it's amazing. There are going to be a bunch of channels. I wish it was a way for me to pull up a picture right now, but there's going to be a lot of channels. Right after me, it's going to be OCD for EDC, and I will put the link in, or one of the mods will put the link in to the video or to this live for you guys to just click right over and go right over to the next live, because it's going to be going for 24 hours. Longest live ever. Not all obviously on the same channel after channel. I'm sure you guys already know, but for those of you that don't know, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people joining that maybe never have been to a Neevesknives live. So we are going to do it just as usual. I have a bunch of really cool knife topics we're going to talk about. Also, we do have a guest coming. He should be here any minute. We got Blades and Fades coming to join us. Zach, already with the Do Something Kind for Someone. You're awesome, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Zach's always doing good stuff. He's he's going on too. I'm not sure what spot he has. What time do you have, Zach? It's gonna be, oh yeah, one little hiccup. Lefty EDC gets sick, so Bearded Gear is going to fill in his spot. So that's the only thing. I didn't know we were allowed to be sick. I didn't know, I didn't know this was one of those situations where you could, get out of it. But, he figured out a way. Ken, thank you, man. Yes, they did. And it pisses me off, man. It makes me so mad. I'm not even going to talk about it, man. I'm not even going to talk about it. But yes, your knives did show up and pissed me off. I'm not even going to try to read your name, but thank you for the donation. You probably made this name just for me. Seedful is what I'm going to call you. Seedful. John Evans. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Save some money for knife rights, because that's where the money needs to be going. I'm going to pull up Blades and Fades here in just a second. He's setting up really quick, but as soon as he's set up, we'll pull him in. Every $10 donation that goes to knife rights counts as an entry, but you have to take a picture of it. And I don't know if you send it to them. I don't know exactly how that part goes. I'm still learning that. I don't know how many spots there's, because there's a lot of giveaways, guys. Like, it's a really big giveaway. I mean, I have a bunch of items behind me that are going. We're going to talk about those here in just a minute, but it's a massive giveaway. So I'm not sure exactly how many spots there's going to be. I'm guessing like 10 or 15 spots. But that if you make at least a $10 entry, you have, at least $10 donation, you have one entry. $20, two entries. But you do need to take a picture of your donations of every $10. Cue ball. Thank you, man. Check your Instagram messages for the answer to your question. Awesome, man. Thank you. So let me just pull this up so I can answer it really quick. Oh man, it's a video. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, that question. Okay, I thought you meant the one I just asked just now. All right, I will check that out right after this. Hey, Mom, I thought you were on. This is for something else, Mom. This is for it's for knife rights, and it's a 24-hour live. I'm just starting it off. I'm just the beginning. There's going to be, I don't even know. I think there's like 20 channels or something. Just give me a wave whenever you're ready, Blades. So what do we got here? Stop guessing. I want the answer. I want the answer too. I'm not positive about how many spots there is. I want the answer too. I have no idea, because there's so much, it's hard to just, like I was saying what they should do. And it does, winds up putting you in a spot where it's like, how many giveaways should they do? I think they should just cut it in half. However many, like, items there is, split it in half. Everybody gets 2 items, and then however many that is. So just as a random number, if there's 40 items, that's 20 spots. Cut it in half. But I don't know. I'm not positive. They're the ones doing the giveaway. We're just shouting it out and making sure everybody knows that this is going on and bringing awareness to knife rights. And we're going to talk about that stuff. We have a bunch of knife topics and all the good stuff. We got 2 hours, baby, 2 hours. It's me, Todd. I know it is, but I'm saying the handle, the seedful. I'm just seedful. Todd's in the house. Todd has been very awesome to the channel as of lately, and I can't thank him enough. He's been so kind to the channel, and everybody is, man. You guys are amazing. There is so much donated stuff. The generosity was amazing. I know, it's insanity. I put it this way, I didn't even contact Mojave Outdoors. They contacted me and said, we want in. We want to donate some stuff, which, it makes you feel really good that they seen it, they acknowledged what was going on, and they said, we got to be a part of this. So I think that stuff's amazing because, I'm not saying anything bad when I say this, but, some channels or some companies, you have to contact them and say, hey, this is going on. Would you like to be a part of it? But in a lot of the cases, you didn't even have to contact them. They contacted you and said, yes, we want to donate. So that's amazing. I think it's going to be a pretty big giveaway. So you guys, if you guys don't donate, it's like, I'm going to donate, but I'm not going to be a part of it. So meaning I'm going to donate, but not send my entries in. What's up, Red Wolf? Red Wolf's in the house. So, but you guys should absolutely donate. Like I said, just make sure you take a record of your donation so you know how many entries you have and make sure you send it to them. Now, we got Blades and Fades coming up. Oh, Issuing Stitches is in here. We're going to talk about him in just a second because we got some giveaway items from Issuing Stitches. Thank you for the donation, bud. Thank you, man. Issuing Stitches. Go and follow their channel. He makes awesome hanks, and we're going to show off some here in just a minute. I like how he does different sizes and everything, and I've talked about that a lot with hank companies. It's smart for them to do different sizes. All right, Blades and Fades. What up, brother?
What's going on, guys?
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right. So anybody who doesn't know Blades and Fades, he's been on here before with me. I think, do I have the picture messed up right now? I feel like I got it. Maybe.
Do I?
No, I like it better the other way.
Do I look like I'm in a good spot?
Yeah, no, you look great. I'm just wondering if I should go like this and zoom. If I have to, I'll zoom back out. It's fine.
Gotcha.
So, he's been on here before. He does have a YouTube channel. He's a barber and a knife nut, which makes sense, right? It makes sense. So how are you doing, bud?
Good. How are you doing?
How's the channel doing?
It's growing. I'm over 700 now, so
that's
awesome. I have 300 more to go until I can do my big giveaway.
Yeah, it is amazing. When your channel's growing and you can, like I remember how long I felt like this. It's just a feeling, but how long it felt like for me to get to 100 followers. Like it felt like it was so long for me. And, once you get there, it's such an amazing feeling. But I remember not even thinking about it too by some like in a way, like where it was just like, I just need to push as much content as possible and the followers will come, or, the people watching, but I needed to concentrate more on the channel more than, because think about 100 people is a lot of people. 200 people is a lot of people. So that's not something to not be proud of. You should definitely be proud of that.
Yeah, for sure.
700. That's amazing. Why did you bleach your hair? Why did you bleach your hair? There we go.
I did it.
It was an accident.
I did a couple years ago. No, it was on purpose. I did a couple years ago when I had my hair grown out like this, and I liked it. So whatever.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
Last time it was a little bit lighter. It was more like whitish, which a couple years ago that was like starting to become like a style, and yeah, so I plan on lighting it a little bit more, but I don't want to burn my hair up.
Yeah, because it does burn your hair, doesn't it? The
Oh
bleach.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
can feel your strands of your hair are like a lot thinner, and it
Right.
actually creates holes through the hairs
Yeah.
themselves.
Right,
So
right, yeah. Damn. Yeah, I've never done it. I've never dyed my hair, not even a little bit. I've never even the only thing I've ever put in my hair is like product. I've never done anything
right,
with my hair. Not saying that I never would or anything. I just never have.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'm a barber, so I've tried just about everything.
oh, I'm sure. I've tried just about every haircut. Like I've done
Right, right.
all different kinds of haircuts, but my hair is really froey.
Curly.
Like you probably can't really tell, like, because I have product in it right now. But me growing up, it was near impossible for me to do anything with my hair. I basically just had an afro because
Right,
it was so thick. The older I've gotten, it's thinned out a little bit. But
right.
growing up, it was just straight curls. Like it was just so curly and so thick. You know what type of hair I'm talking
Yeah,
about? Where it's just like
see,
curly.
I was kind of the opposite. Mine was real thick, but it was always real straight, and
Yeah, mine wasn't.
I always wanted it to curl because when I was younger, I had like skater haircut, and you
Uh-huh.
know how it like hangs over your head and like flips out or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I always wanted to do that, and it just kind of
It didn't matter how long my hair was, it would just grow out.
nice.
Like literally, I could not get well, I did have at one point. Um I not a well, I guess it was a rat tail, but you know, like the rat tail thing. It was back in like the early 90s, like when it was cool. I had like the tail back here, and
Yeah.
that was really long. But the thing was since my hair was curly, right? It would just curl up into a ball until it was wet. And if it was wet, then it would hang down my
Oh my
back.
God.
So like the
My
girls around
little
the neighborhood would braid it and shit.
Oh my God. My little brother had that when he was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. He's 25 or 26 now. And he would not let anybody cut it. Like he was so protective of it. It was hilarious.
Oh,
He
I
always
was
called it a
too.
rat
I was
tail.
too. Yeah, it was almost like I forget who's that the mythical guy who's like his strength lies in his hair or something. I forget who the hell it was, but
Hercules?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know,
Or no,
but one
that's
of those
his
guys,
isn't
but that's the way
that's his
I felt. I
deal.
felt like that too. Like that was my power. Like don't cut my hair.
Some
I
kind of
remember
ancient warrior. But bro, I gotta tell you something real quick.
what's up.
And show you something. This is a sneak peek, something
All
that
right,
just arrived
let's do it.
literally like 30 minutes ago. I'm still getting used to it. It's
Oh,
not
you got
mine,
one. You
bro.
got one. Big
It's not
Red. What's
mine,
up, brother?
but oh, let's see if we can see down
Oh,
in the
I'll try to
oh,
get you a little closer. There we go.
mm, can you see inside there?
What am I looking at? No, I can't see it. What does it
Oh,
say? What is it? 3V?
Mag,
You got
Magna
you got
Cut.
Magna Cut.
Yeah, buddy.
Good for you, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
the guy that sent this to me, I'm pretty sure he has sent a bunch of stuff to Metal Complex also. Like he has a huge collection of like everything that is crazy expensive that we like dream of. He
Right.
has all that stuff. And he was telling me that Metal Complex hasn't even got one of these or done a
Later,
video
Mike.
on it yet. So I'm super excited to check
Let
this
me
thing
ask
out.
you this. This is your first time with it, right? Have you ever
First
held one
time
before?
handling a Demco, period.
Okay, so what do you think? How do you like it?
Uh,
The
well,
knife,
just like
the knife, not the steel or anything, just the knife.
all right, so I my I've had it for 30 minutes now, so I haven't even cut paper with it, but my first impressions are like 99% positive. I really like it. However, just like you were saying last night, that I really think it could use a D10 because I don't like just the spring
It
pressure like the
mushes out.
axis lock
Yeah,
style or liner lock. I mean line lock back. So it
I
has
know what you
that
mean.
kind
Yeah,
of
where it
like
doesn't.
I can still
It
do
does.
it
I
fine,
right.
but
You
I
can
like a
do it,
crisp
but
break.
right. You want a clean break. Exactly. It
It would
doesn't
make
give you
it
that
a
clean break.
it
That
would
is the
make it
one
so much more
downfall to that.
satisfying.
Well, I was thinking and I don't know if it's possible or not, but I was thinking like with access locks, shark locks or whatever, I wonder if it'd be possible, excuse me, for them to put, kind of like a double detent knife, like put a
Right.
detent in it where all you have is the break. I don't know if they'd have to like make a cutout around the blade so the detent ball just rolls in a cutout until it's closed and then maybe drops
Yeah. I
into
mean,
a notch. I
well,
got to
oh, I
imagine it's
got the
possible.
answer. I got the answer.
What?
Have you ever opened up a smock?
Yeah,
The second detent, how it's
right.
spring loaded and it just stays in there?
There you go.
They could do
Exactly.
something like
That
that.
and that's what should be done. If
Bingo.
that was done, like that would take so many different models, like I said, access locks, shark locks, bunch of knives, like to another level, because that's their only downfall is it being like mushy coming out. So
Yeah.
that would be awesome, and I wish
Uh,
that would happen.
I remember.
Late as usual, Willow. It's all right. We just started. All right. So, all right. First off, follow me on Instagram, everybody. Neevesknives on Instagram. For those of you that have not ever been here, I want to shout out to Kaiser Mojave Outdoors and Issuing Stitches for donating knives for the cause. I'm sending them to Lefty EDC because he's collecting all the knives. Like I said, he's sick tonight, so he's not going to be able to do the live, but we have a ton of badass hanks, really
Ooh,
good quality. He's got his logo right there,
dang.
issuing stitches. Hopefully it'll come up. Live cameras don't like me. But they got really nice microfiber on the inside, the kind of hanks that are really nice.
Ooh.
Not all of them have the microfiber, I don't think. Maybe they do. Okay. Okay, there's a couple that don't have the microfiber, but some people don't like them. So I mean, I guess it just depends on what you like. But most of them do, but they're all really nice patterns, all different kinds of patterns. I really like his patterns. Even a Star Wars one. But yeah, shout out to Issuing Stitches. So many which one? What's that one?
This is from my buddy over in the Millie Club. It's Damascus Hank and Co. Or
Nice.
yeah, or
In
Damascus
the
Hank and Co. Yeah. He sent me like 4 of them, and a couple of them are going to be for the giveaway, and he told me he wants me to keep 1 or 2.
That's
So
awesome.
there's some really cool ones.
In this pack we got a couple small ones which are really nice, because this is the way I look at it, is these small ones are really good for carry. Like I can
Yeah.
throw this right in my pocket and not even realize it. Now I can do that with the big ones too, but the small, like, and this
You
isn't
don't
even a
really
real,
need it. You
I
don't need it that big.
like, look how big like some of these are. Like this thing is huge compared to these ones. Like there's all different sizes. This size is still really good. Like the large size I got from Issuing Hanks, this will still work perfectly in the pocket. But these little ones work great in the pocket, and they're awesome for. And I always say this, but they're awesome for wiping lenses, cleaning your knives. If you get something on your knife, you can clean your knife or wipe your glasses down, your camera lenses, your mirror in your car. If there's something really cold and you need to like take a cap off or something outside, works really good. Or really hot, if you need to grab something hot or cold, they work for so many things. I always have one in my bag, or I don't. Yeah, sometimes I carry one in my pocket. It depends, but I always have one in my backpack at the very least. Now, a couple of the knives I have for donation that I'm sending in the 20 CV Gemini. That is carbon fiber.
That just dropped today, didn't it?
Yeah, just dropped today, and they
sold out.
I don't know if they sold out or not. I'm happy that they sent it in. So this isn't the shiny carbon fiber. This is the raw carbon fiber, which I like way better. Really nice texture, and it's got the gold flakes in it. The Kaiser Gemini is just so snappy.
That thing looks so good.
Yeah, dude, the detents are so well. Kaiser killed their detents like this year, especially. They're so nice, and yeah, it's badass. 20 CV, and we're going to talk about steel talk here in just a little bit. But Kaiser's done I mean, I haven't seen a controlled cut test, so I can't speak about it from that perspective. But from just carrying it EDC and sharpening it, it feels really nice. Takes a really, really good edge. So I don't know. I'm not sure how good of a job they're doing based on like edge retention, but it seems like it's decent at the very least, and it sharpens up very nicely, like really, really nice. And then I also got a bag lighter and and a splinter. So I got both of those too, a bag lighter in carbon fiber, and the bag lighter twos are really, really nice. They're like so smooth. So smooth. And then I got a splinter. And then the Hanks, but then I'm also going to send. Well, I'm gonna do a giveaway tonight. So we're gonna do a giveaway here. We might as well give something away. I didn't know which one I should do, if I should send like a different one there and then give one away here. So instead, I'm just going to give away the nice one right here because I'm going to give away something else to Knife Rights. So we're going to do the Concept Stellar Titanium and S35 VN. This is a Matt Degnan design. Really cool knife. So we're going to give this away tonight. We'll give this away here in just a little while. All right. All right. So what do you think about, what do you like better between a sheep's foot and a worn cliff? And before I ask you that, before I completely ask you that, just to decipher the difference, a worn cliff is, and this is because I go by the real definition of the worn cliff, which is like this, where the spine does a slow taper all the way down to the tip, and then the edge is a completely perfectly straight edge. It's like, you know, just perfectly straight.
I'm carrying one today.
Okay, and then a sheep's foot would be like this, where it has a little bit of belly and it has a hump before it gets down to the tip. So it's not a perfectly straight line like or a perfectly straight drop like a worn cliff. Which one do you like better?
I would have to say worn cliff.
If you have a favorite.
I've had a couple of sheep's foot before, but I don't have any right now. But I do have some worn cliffs. I like both, but I don't know. That's a tough one. They're both really good. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna argue why a sheep's foot is better first, and then before that,
I could agree that I feel like that's probably better, but just because I don't have one right now,
you got to argue for the warning. Well, I think a lot of people would call like this a worn cliff, and I'm saying the companies would even do it. I would argue that this is still a sheep's foot because of this angle. Now, a lot of people would argue it's a warning because it has a perfectly straight edge.
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
You look at it like that?
That it's a warning because of the straight edge. When I think sheep's foot, I always think of the belly to it.
A little bit of belly. Okay, well, we can define it like that if you want, but
I think just like a slight long belly.
Right, like kind of like the sheep's foot griptilian.
Yeah, just
has a little bit of belly.
Real slight.
Yeah. Well, so like this would be a worn cliff to you because it's perfectly straight, even though, well, I guess it would be pretty much a standard worn cliff because I guess the spine tapers down slowly all the way down to the tip.
Yeah.
But I would argue that the sheep's foot is better only because it has the belly. Because a sheep's foot normally doesn't go up very high. It's not like a sheep's foot, you know, like go way up here. They only
like a drop
slightly
point.
Right. They only slightly go up, and the tip is normally lower than a drop point. So you're still going to get the exact same amount of leverage doing the utility cuts, which is what, you know, a worn cliff would be for, right? A worn cliff
more natural for your ergonomics.
Well, but you'd have that little bit of belly for slicing, which, I mean, I guess some people would argue that the straight edge is possibly going to help you stay in the materials, and some people argue that the belly slips you out. I guess it is all preference, but personally for me, I think the sheep's foot is just slightly more universal, like it's slightly more useful for more things, while the worn cliff can be I don't know, because you can't. I mean, it's kind of weird because some of them will puncture like this, but a lot of them you can't. You have to point them down.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
going to be different for, different people
Yeah.
depending on, their grip. If there's someone that holds their knife like really
Oh,
tight and choked up, then the belly isn't going to pull them out of their cut because they have full control. But if
right.
it's someone that holds the knife kind of looser or whatever,
Mhm.
kind of lazy,
Yeah.
then, it might pull you wherever. But so it all, I think it's going to depend
See, I
on
didn't
the
even have to
person.
answer this. Knives fast. Do I have to choose? Can't I have both? No. You, you have to choose one. No.
Oh man.
You have to choose one. But no, I like them both too, but I
I
personally
just worry
like
about the tip strength of the warnies.
that is a
But I
thing
really
too.
don't pry with my knives, so
But
it's like whatever.
even for like dropping, like that's how say
Yep.
knife junkie, he constantly drops his warnies and breaks his tips off. And it's not like they
I've
just
seen that a
snap
lot.
off, it's just a little chip, but that little chip will drive somebody nuts.
Yeah.
I think I personally think a sheep's foot is a little bit more useful and versatile, but in some instances and certain, because there are different kinds, right? So like certain ones are going to be, and I'm talking about specifically with warnies, some are going to be way better than others, but when they're done right, they can do a lot of other things, but then some of them are kind of limited to, just downward cutting. Not saying you can't cut a box or, a flap with them or something, but it just doesn't seem like it works as good. Sometimes with
Yeah.
some, not all. Joe says sheep's foot Warncliffe doesn't work if you need to scrape something like a sticker off a flat surface. Well, a sheep's foot.
What?
So he's
I feel like it would be the opposite, right?
to scrape something off like a sticker off. Well,
I would
I'm
scrape
thinking,
something with a straight blade.
but with a knife you have the handle, so you can't do that unless if
Oh, you
the.
can't.
I guess it depends on how you're looking at it. Because if the table's like in front of you, then yes, you can. But if it's got like a surface around it and you have to go at it from like the
Yeah.
top
I'm,
down,
I'm
then you'd
scraping
want a
something
little
off.
belly.
I guess it depends if the surface is wider than the blade, maybe.
Yeah, and
I
if you
don't
have
know.
to come from it from the top or if you can come from the side. If you have to go to it from the top, then you'd want a little bit of belly. If you can come from it from the side, like say the side of a table, then yeah, you could use a straight edge. But if it's from the top down, you have to have belly. Like it's impossible for you to use the flat edge because you're just going to hit the tip. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
okay, so
kind
if
of
you're looking
confused
down,
though.
like if, okay, say this, the middle of a glass table, right? The middle of it. I put a sticker in the middle.
Okay.
How are you going to get it off with a warning? You're going to have to use the tip.
I guess I guess it depends if your plunge or whatever comes down below the blade. But if I
Most
grinded
do,
that, if I just grinded that just a hair, then I would be good probably.
but you can't
With
grind your
this
knife
knife
to take off a
specifically.
sticker. Yeah, I think some of them if the blade's going down farther, but I think the majority of them they're gonna have something in the way from getting them. You're
Right.
gonna have to use the tip. Now with a knife with a
Gotcha.
belly or like a sheep's foot, you totally could do it easily because you have the belly.
Makes
But yeah,
sense.
like I said, if it's on the side of the table though, you can go right at it. If I put it on the, right there on the edge, you can
Yep.
go right for it because you don't have to worry about your handle. All right, let's go. Also, he has one of those Spanish tip worn cliffs. Actually, while we're kind of on the Warren Cliff, damn it, I should have grabbed it. Where did I put it? Well, I'm just gonna have to wait for that one because I can't think of where I put it. All right. So next, we're gonna talk about convex edges versus V grinds. You have been using the KME quite a bit recently, right?
Yes, sir.
How long have you had it now?
Yep.
What, like 2 months or a month?
Uh, 2 or 3.
Right. You were sharpening before that, but I'm just saying how long you've had this
Yeah.
system.
I've had this for 2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, you like it way better than your sharpening before. What
Yeah.
what stones are you using specifically? Brand and grit.
All right. So I mainly all I feel like I
What's
really
up,
need
Jersey? Sorry, go ahead.
is the all you really need, in my opinion, is the 4 stones that it comes with, which are the KME Gold Series Diamonds.
Okay.
Oh, there. All right. So
Are those
they give
diamond
you a
plate? Those are diamond plates.
uh no, it's like diamond all the way through.
Oh, is it? It's a resin, resin
Yeah.
bonded diamond.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I
And
think so.
those came with the system.
Yeah, it comes with a 140, a 300, a 600, and a 1500. So with that, it's pretty versatile. I I don't have the B stone, and no matter what steel I've tried, I haven't needed it. The 140 diamond does fine reprofiling. I mean, I'll probably get eventually, but if you're like, tight on money or whatever, I think the 4 that come with it are perfectly fine for really any type of edge you want to put on it. But also got these 2 Columbia Gorge resin bonded diamond, and the stone is really thin, and then the back of it's kind of like a steel blank.
Right.
But these, I have a 5 micron and a 10 micron,
Okay.
and
So
the
now you can go to a
5
polish with
is,
those.
oh yeah, this will, just the 10 micron one
Yep.
will give you like literally a perfect mirror.
Yep.
If you go to the 5, then oh man, it's
Yeah.
insane.
Right. Yeah. I sometimes because I have my 7.5 micron and then my 3.2 micron. But a lot of times I don't even use my 3 or 2 micron because the 7 micron is so polished already. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why do I even need to take it that far? How much I don't know if you remember this, but what was the difference adding those stones versus the other stones? How much more was the system with those particular stones? Because I know they give you the option to have like the better stones or the
Are
less.
you asking the price?
Yeah. Do you remember or no?
So I got the system with the base and the 4 diamond stones, the Gold Series diamond stones for $200 shipped to my house from um crap. I'll think of it. But
That's a
yeah,
good deal
that's a pretty
with
good
those
deal
stones.
with the base and the Gold Series diamonds, yeah.
Okay, now with
I
the
think
other
it's
two
like best
stones.
sharpening supplies.
Oh yeah. You're talking about sharpeningssupplies.com, right? Or you're talking about
Something like that.
yeah, I think that's what you're
I
talking
think
about.
so.
They're awesome. They're here in the U.S. It's a family-owned business. They're really cool. I think they're family-owned. Either way, they're really cool. How much were those other 2 stones? Because
They
that's what
were
takes you to the
25
polish.
They were $25 a piece, which is extremely insane deal because
That is a
those are
really
pretty
good deal.
much like a Veneve. It's
Yeah.
just that
Yeah.
it's a thinner stone.
Mhm.
It's not all the way through it, but it's still legit.
Well, even the
And
Veneves have a
it
metal
works really
plate. Even the Veneves have a metal plate. They just have they
gotcha.
go from 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters thick resin. So that's probably just a
Right.
1 millimeter. Now, so that would you say it was like $24 you said or 27?
20 $25 a piece. So it's like
That's a
24.99.
really good deal. That's a really, really good deal.
And
So you
those
say
I
about
got those at
250.
Gritomatic.
Okay. Yeah, you say about 250
Yep.
for everything. And what brand did
Yeah.
you say those resin bonded stones were?
Columbia Gorge Stoneworks.
Columbia Gorge Stonework. Remember that, guys. So when you
Yeah,
guys are looking for the Venetian, sorry, go ahead.
CGSW.
When you guys are
So
looking for the Venetian stones, this is a good
so they can
option.
screenshot if they want.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll pull you up closer. CGSW.US Diamond 10M, 10 micron. Now, that is a great option for you guys. If you guys are wanting the Veneves and you guys can't find the Veneves because that's still a resin bonded diamond stone. So
these
that's
things are insane. Their website says you're supposed to do something to prepare them before you use them,
Yeah.
but I didn't even know that when I bought them. I used them right out of the box, and they worked amazing.
I do the same thing. I don't prep mine either.
I didn't know you were supposed to. I mean, I never have. I just
Well, they say like there's some sort of I don't know, like film over them from like the processing or something, and all you're doing is you're basically just removing that top layer and bringing the diamonds out. Sharpening will do that too. I don't know.
right.
I never really see the difference. Like my Venice, man, even diamond plates. Some people take their diamond plates. I have never done this, but a lot of people do. They take their diamond plates because when diamond plates come in, they're extra coarse compared to
Yep.
what they're gonna be. Like say uh a 200 grit is like 100 grit for the first five
Dude.
knives you sharpen, then it goes down to like, or it goes, to 200. It has to
Yeah.
break in. They have a break-in period. Mine, I like them super
Oh
aggressive.
my God. It's
The
funny
more
you mentioned
aggressive, the
that.
better.
I almost thought that I got scammed because my KME because it was a good deal, and the stones were cut in like so much, like they were a quarter of the grit that it was labeled. So I'm like, is this real or did I get scammed? Because they were so freaking aggressive.
So
It was
aggressive,
insane.
right? Yeah, nasty aggressive. Yeah, it
Yeah,
it can be a little scary right at first because they're so aggressive. You're like, holy shit! Like it almost feels like you can't do anything on it because it's so aggressive. It's like,
I was
damn.
like, damn.
So
At
Ken,
this rate, I'm gonna need 100,000 grit stone if I want to get near a
right,
polish.
right. Ken Harris asked if you stropped with the gunny juice yet.
I have my buddy Micah. He is the one that made me my stone holder, which um, he made me two more, which those are going to be in the giveaway also. And then he sent me a couple knives to check out, and he also sent me this whole freaking set.
Damn.
Yeah, and this stuff isn't cheap, but it works insanely good.
I
Like
need to
I
try
was,
it.
I
I
was
haven't
kind
tried
of
it. I need to try it.
skeptical at first because I just have never needed it. Like I can get my knives really polished with just the stones I have and then a strop with green compound. Like I didn't have anything fancy. But when
Do
he sent
you
me this,
use those? Do you use those as a progression for a polish, or you just use them
well,
for maintenance?
you
I know you can
you
do
can
them for
do
both,
either
but
one.
right.
I I just tried. Well, I mean, they're not mine, so I didn't want to like, use all this stuff up.
All right.
So but I have tried them for both, and it works. It works great. Like you could get away with just getting like a say the 6 micron and the 9 micron, and maybe the 3,
Yeah.
and that will bring you to insane polish. The
Right.
the extra ones, like if you're at 1,000 grit finish on your edge and you have a clean edge,
Right. A clean
you
flat
don't
edge.
need, yeah, you don't need higher than like the 9. I feel like because this stuff is really effective. I put it on basswood,
Okay. Mike
and
Emler does that too.
you can see the difference. Like literally, each stroke, you can see like major improvement. It's really cool.
So let me ask you this: do you know the prices on each bottle?
I believe this size, which is the I think these are. I have it written down. Let me see.
And do you know, are they diamond or are they aluminum oxide? Do you know? I
The
mean, I
what?
don't
The
know.
juice?
Yeah.
It's polycrystalline
Okay.
diamond emulsion.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Now these ones are the 10 milliliter, and I believe they're like 20 or $25 a piece.
Okay.
But I'm actually
That is pricey.
he sent me 3 bottles of that stuff also, and Gunny Glide also to give away.
Thank you, Fiend.
So he's so
Um,
yeah,
yeah, and if
this stuff
Fiend, if
works
can you
insane.
possibly pull up Blade and Fade's channel so that these guys can go and follow his channel? And we are going, and here is the donation
Yep.
link. Thank you, Fiend. Fiend was a little late to the party, but he's here now. Here is the donation link for you guys to go and donate and enter the massive giveaway. Sorry, go ahead. Hey.
So this is what I use. It's like a 2 foot by a 1/4 inch by 3 inch piece of basswood that you get from Hobby Lobby for $5, and I cut it into 3 separate 3 by 8 inch straps and use each side on both of them. So I just label it with the micron that I put on it, and I start off with whatever I feel like I should start off with, depending on what my edge looks like. I have like a good idea for it now, like what level it's at and where I need to start from. I don't start higher than I need to.
I appreciate you guys coming in here and helping out, man. Thank you. Logical.
Thank you, everybody.
So let me ask you this. That's a spray, right? It's a spray.
Yep.
Correct?
It has a well.
I never used it, so.
Okay.
Oh, it's a pump.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you real quick. So this is my piece of basswood that I use the 6 micron on.
This is for gunny juice, guys. So just so you guys know, this is gunny juice. This is what everybody's talking about when they're talking about the gunny juice. Go ahead.
All right. So what you're gonna do is you just pump like 2 drops like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's 1 pump each, and then I don't know if you're supposed to touch it or not, but I just take my finger.
You just eat it. All right. I'm just joking.
I just spread it all around.
I would do the same thing. I would do the exact same thing.
I was a mechanic for a long time, and I would eat with grease and all kinds of stuff on my hand.
I know what you mean.
Spread it out.
Me too.
With your finger like that, and then you would want to let it dry for a couple minutes, and then you strop just like as if you were using leather or any other strop material, and you literally see the result each pass. No exaggeration.
That's awesome.
It's really. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I didn't doubt that it was good, but I just didn't have the urge really to try it or feel like I needed it because I could already get good results. And I'm a cheap motherfucker, so
Josh
anything
Almighty,
that costs extra money.
Josh Almighty asks, thank you for the donation, bud. You have to become a member of Knife Rights and donate to be entered into the grand prize, or can you just donate and be entered? You just have to donate, but you have to donate and screenshot each $10 donation. Each $10 donation gives you an entry. I don't know if you have to follow them. You don't have to become a member. You just have to donate. So, but you have to prove that you donated and send it to them so that they know that you entered. So like every $10, take a screenshot, send it to them so that they know how, and then every one you will have an entry. So if you donated $50, that's 5 entries for you. So you'll have 5 chances of winning. We don't know yet how many spots because there's a lot of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of winners, which is awesome. Josh Almighty, here you go. Here is Fiend hooked it up. Josh Almighty, you can just donate. The rules are laid out here. Here is the rules for the entry. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Nice.
What Alex's Knife is such asks, what does a member to Knife Rights do for me? I read what it gives me, but other than getting the membership cleared in detail, what else the Knife Rights membership detail? Well, aside from the membership, I'll say this is what it gives you. It gives you lawyers that go around the damn country and fight in cases in courts for you to have the ability to carry around a knife. Because even though we feel like it is our God-given freedom, we have a lot of fear-driven people out there trying to strip our rights away and say you can only carry a 1-inch knife, you can only carry a 2-inch knife. Hell, you might not be able to carry a knife. And these guys go to court and fight these outdated, horrific laws that stop you from carrying a knife. So it does a lot more. I'm not saying you have to be a member for that because they already do that. But just being a member is awesome because then you probably get updated on all their cases and the things they're fighting and just all the things they're doing because they are constantly working. It's like, these are the people that are in the shadows that we get to enjoy the results, but we don't see the process. So thank you to them for fighting that fight for us. Okay, Mike says, I can't donate but I am carrying my Ritter Hogue. There you go. Bang. If anybody doesn't know, so we're going to talk about Doug Ritter here in a minute. But Doug Ritter is the founder of Knife Rights, and he's also the designer of the Ritter Hogue. So with every purchase of a Ritter Hogue, a little bit goes to Knife Rights. So yeah, anybody who has a Hogue Ritter has already helped out a little bit. And we're going to talk about Doug Ritter here in just a little bit, but going to the V grind and convex convex edges. I know you like V grind edges, right? Because that's what you put on with your KME.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know the difference, really quick. I know most of you probably do, but it's really simple. It's just a convex doesn't have a straight flat edge. So let me just write it. So this is how it would be. A convex edge is like that, where the sides are rounded. I can't do it back. I'm backwards, so I'm sorry. But see how the edges are rounded, and then the V ground over here is just perfectly straight. So that's the difference. Now, what does that do? What's the goods and bads of that? So a convex edge is going to be tougher. So you're going to have less microchipping, less chances of edge rolling and things like that from a convex edge. A V ground edge, while it might have a little bit more initial bite, it's not going to be as stable, but you might get a little bit performance. Now, some people argue that the convex rounds and there's no shelf to the, because like a V grind is like this. So on the top of the edge bevel might be a little bit of shelf to get on to the grind. Now, I can't really speak to that if that's, I don't think you'll really feel that. I think that resistance would be so tiny that it's not even worth arguing about. But the toughness is a factor that the convex edge does bring you. And with a V ground edge, it's a little bit thinner right at the very tip of the apex. So that's going to give you a little bit more bite. And that's why it might possibly feel sharper or might possibly be a tiny bit sharper. Now, there is the in between, right? And we never mention this either. We never talk about this. The in between. There is the almost a complete flat V ground edge that is still slightly convex. So you're going to get a little bit more toughness, a little bit more than the V ground, but still have the sliciness. And a lot of freehanders will get that. Like, I know I usually try to get a perfect V ground edge when I do freehand, but there are times where I think a convex edge is better. And there's times where I just wind up getting a little bit of convexing because I'm human.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that, though. That actually can have some benefits. Now, with when you're using your knife and say you have a thin edge, right? A thin edge, and you lay back your angle, which I'm sure you like to do too. Sean, you probably like to lay back your angles and stuff and get them as slicey as possible. You have chances, and we're going to talk about the different steels that do this here in just a minute. There you go. Pull that up real nice and close. You're going to have some knives, some edges that experience chipping. It's not actual chipping, but micro chipping, where you run your nail down the blade and you can feel little tiny spots on the edge, where if possibly that edge was a little bit tougher, that might not have happened. Now we're going to talk about why that happens and certain steels and why that can happen here in just a second. But well, actually, let's just get into it right now. So let me pull up I had a thing drawn out, but I left it. But I'll just do it really quick. So with an edge, especially when we're talking about high carbide steels. So a carbide, think of a carbide as like a little tiny rock, right? Well, if that little tiny rock is too big to go to get all the way down to that apex, right? By the time it gets down to that apex and you sharpen it, because say you're using diamonds, right? And you're sharpening diamonds, it'll be like that, where basically the whole part right there is a carbide. Now, in order for it to be tough, it needs the steel and the other structures of the steel around it. And it being right there at that apex, sharpened into a V, it doesn't have anything around it. It's basically just the carbide. You sharpen the carbide. So now a carbide is very brittle. It's not tough at all. So it's very hard and brittle. So that's when you might get the chances of that happening. Now, there are steels that have powdered steels, right? Where it's a little bit more finer grain. So even though it has a lot of carbides, they're finer. But when you get some of those steels that are not a powdered steel, maybe they're a high carbide steel where they have really big carbides in it, that can be the issue, where the carbides are just so big and getting down to that edge, it's almost impossible with keeping, other materials around it. Like, think about concrete, right? Think about concrete with rocks and stuff like that. It needs the concrete around the rock, right? You can't just have
It's
a
like
pile
the
of rock.
glue.
Right, exactly. Like the glue holding it together. So, and that's why sometimes it supports. Oh, thank you, Rust. But yeah, then with, like I said, with powdered steels, though, that can help that a little bit because it helps get those carbides into smaller particles or whatever. Now, let me just
Now,
check.
doesn't
Oh, go ahead.
the
Yeah,
way
go ahead.
that the way that they do the heat treat has a lot of effect on the type of carbides it gets, right?
Absolutely, and the microstructure of the steel and then the heat treat, bonding it all together basically and creating the perfect outcome, because that is so massive with
Then
with
if they add
steels.
nitrogen or different stuff.
Well, even more important, I got a donation. Even more important than the steel itself, the heat treat.
Yeah.
John Evans, thank you, Jared. Check your Instagram for email address for receipts. I sent an Instagram message. All right, bud. You don't have to send the receipt to. Hold on, let me just make sure. You don't have to send it to me. You would want to send it to the knife rights. Let me just make sure. Oh, so email for entries. Oh, this is the email for the entries. Okay. I think they might be able to do it. I think possibly Fiend or Seems Logical can possibly put that in the chat. Thank you again for the donation, John. I appreciate it, bud. I like look how you do with this thumbnail, man. That's awesome. Knives Live 2021. That's badass. Now, but yeah, the heat treat is, who shows this the best and shows it so good, because he's a genius and like a mastermind, and just everything and above with heat treats and steels is Triple B. Triple
Oh my
B
God.
does
Yeah.
some insane shit, man. He'll take steels and push them up to 70 HRC and show you how, even though it's up at that high of an HRC, and he will literally show you how stable his edges still are. And I mean,
Yeah.
he has this one wood. It sounds like glass when he's carving into it.
Yeah, it's
It's
really like
so
it kind of
hard.
like
Yeah, yeah. It
kind of
almost
make
seems
gives me
like he's
that like
carving a
nails
rock.
on a chalkboard
Yep. But
kind
it's
of
Big
idea.
Brown Bear. Yes, Triple B, Big Brown Bear. And he'll be
Yeah.
carving that stuff into that wood. And that wood, people are thinking, oh, it's just wood. There are some really dense woods out there, woods that are like, it almost feels like a rock. And that's the way
He
that stuff
also
is.
showed it cutting glass.
Yeah, because what is it? 66.6 HRC. I think anything higher than 60, I think it's 66.6 can cut glass, has the ability to cut glass. So if it's 70 HRC, it's above 66.6. So yeah, He can cut glass, and that's why he'll cut the tops off of bottles with it. But the
Yeah,
biggest thing
insane.
is after he does that, he'll show you that the edge it's still perfect. Like it doesn't have no microchipping in it. Hence the edge stability,
No
because when
chipping,
he's
no rolls.
nothing, because when he's doing that with the edge and he's taking basically the edge and he's going like this into wood and twisting and stuff,
You're
with
putting it to
most
the test.
edges that with most edges that thin, it's almost impossible. Like a lot of people can't even fathom that. Like one, they might not even understand like how hard that is on that edge, and the edge
Yeah,
just goes through it and stays nice and stable. That takes really good microstructure of the steel and then the heat treat. So he's killing it, and that's super thin
he's
too.
a legend when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
he's a pioneer too, you know?
Yes, for
He
sure. He's doing things that a lot of people didn't even think was possible, to be honest. Some of the things.
I don't think he knows who I am really, but I have a lot of respect for him. I've been
I didn't
watching
think
him
he
for a
knew who
while.
I was either. I went on his live a couple weeks ago and he knew who I was. I was surprised.
Nice.
I didn't think he'd have a clue. I never talked to him or anything. He knew exactly who I
Yeah, I
was.
feel like everybody should know who you are.
Yeah, but
Anybody
you
in the
think
knife game.
yeah, I don't think that though. And
Right, right.
he's so into his corner, like
Yeah,
he's busting
yeah.
ass. So you don't think that somebody like that has time. And I know there's people in the community that I still don't know, so I know that can happen from his end too. So, but yeah, he was awesome though. Let me go back to this. Now, what the hell are we doing next? Oh, I wanted to talk about this really quick. We won't talk about this too much, but using old knives as parts or for parts. So I know a lot of people, sometimes you'll lose a screw, break an omega spring, something, right? Whatever. You can always take old shitty knives and reuse them, basically just recycle them and use their parts. I do it all the time. Sometimes I might need a screw here, a screw there. I know Blades and Fades, he was talking about getting some memory wire. Where'd you say you got it from?
Hobby Lobby.
From
I
Hobby
forget
Lobby.
what gauge it was, but I just I had broken Omega springs and I only have two Benchmades. And after both the Omega springs broke, I've never bought another one since. But I took
Because the memory
the
wire
broken
works so good.
yeah, well, I took the broken spring out and I took that to the store with me and kind of just eyeballed it up with
Uh-huh.
the diameter as close as I could by eye, and I used a like a screwdriver shank.
Thank you, bud. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I
Keep
used a
going.
screwdriver shank to like wrap the wire to keep it
Yeah.
round,
Yep.
and I did the bends like that and just followed the original shape of it, and it it worked perfect
You don't
because
remember what
I've
gauge it
never
was, though? You don't remember what the gauge was? Like 12
I'd
gauge
have
or
to
something? Does anybody know what the
eh,
gauge is on
you
actual
know
Benchmade
you know what
Omegas?
I found the information on blade forms. I
Okay.
just like put it in a Google search and it was like the first blade forms thing that popped up. I clicked
Uh-huh.
on that and in that thread somebody had posted the diameters and I got that and tried it out and it worked.
Thank you, Mason. I appreciate it, boss.
'Cause
Boss.
I'm not a warranty type of person. I've never sent anything in for warranty.
I
I
rarely
don't
do.
like not having
Rarely.
my stuff.
Yeah, I like to work on shit
I
myself.
attempt to fix it.
I do
Yeah.
too. I will do my best to just work on it myself. Very rarely. I've sent a Benchmade in once, and amazing service, by the way. Amazing service. I recommend anybody that has issues on the Benchmade, just send it in. There it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks they had it back and it was great. But I don't like to do that. I don't like to have my knife out for
Yeah.
2 weeks, and especially when you realize little details that are so easy. Like you did the memory wire thing, and I'm definitely going to do that. Other people have recommended me to do that. I bought some off of Etsy. for $6. It beat
Yep.
the 2 weeks because I got them in 3 days, and they never. And listen, this had been already. I had gotten two times. I had gotten Omega Springs replaced on the same knife that kept breaking, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna do it myself. Got the Etsy ones. They never broke. I've never broken any of the Etsy ones. So to me,
It's
it's like
crazy. It's like,
that's a win.
how have you not figured it out yet? You know?
But you know,
All
some
the
people
money.
though, like Zach, I don't know, he might have broken a couple Omegas, but for the most part, he's never broken any Omega Springs. It's just some people. Some people. I have Benchmades that I've had the longest. My longest, oldest Benchmade has never broke one. But then I have other knives that I think maybe, and this is just my my thought process, maybe on the inside the Omega Spring was catching on something, because it broke so quick on the replacement one that it's like, how could that have happened when I have other ones that I've used for years and they're still working strong? So, I
You
don't
know what
know.
I think it might be? I think it might have something to do with how hard you flick it, like your thumb strength and the speed that you can flick it out. Because if you're somebody that flicks your knife all the time, like you can like really whip something out. And if you're like
Yeah.
flicking it out hard, I think that impact is hard on the springs. And then if you don't pull them both sides down at the same time and you're only pulling on one side, that might put extra stress on it too. Just a
Yeah.
thought. Or
Yeah.
humidity. I don't know. There's a lot
It's
of
got to be
factors, but
something because it doesn't. They're not made to really break like the name is. They're memory wire. They're supposed to bend and bend and bend and bend and bend. They're supposed to do
now
that.
is that what Benchmade actually uses though?
Oh yeah, it's the same thing. That's all it is. It's just memory
Okay.
wire for sure, for sure.
I didn't know that.
And I'm not making any shot to Benchmade at all. Like it's just things happen. Like it's just weird how it was brand new ones, and I didn't even have a time to fidget with it. So something it must have gotten hung up inside of it, and the same thing happened a couple times in a row.
Both
Yeah,
these
my
are on
940
my
never broken them on my 940 or
no,
my
this is with the
Griptonian.
springs that I put in. These
Had this
both
thing
have
for a
the ones
couple
that I
years.
made.
They're still perfect. But shit does happen. That's why all I do is I have a couple extra just sitting just in case. Fuck it. I mean, why not? Yeah, you gotta love the 940. 940 is awesome. I
It's
actually
probably the only
go ahead.
Benchmade I really love.
You ever tried the Griptilian
No,
or bug out?
I bought these two. I have the
Oh, you
bug
got the
out,
bug out.
and I
Yeah,
don't
you have
really
the bug
like
out.
it, but I customize it and stuff. So I don't know. It was
Yeah.
one of my first, nicer or more expensive knives, and
I
then I
re
put money into it, so I just kept it.
I recently got to try the bailout with Flytanium scales, and I like it. I like it a lot. I do.
Dang,
I wasn't never a fan of it before, but I never tried it, but just by the look of it and everything. But now I do like that one. But the Benchmade Griptilian, I love
I've
this knife.
almost bought that so many times.
It's a really good knife, man. It's the blade shape. The blade shape is just fantastic for EDC. I wish it did have a hollow. Don't get me wrong. And I almost want
Right.
to send it into BGM just to do it, because when I got this, I thought that they still had, because I had another one, a small one, the mini, and at that time they had hollow grinds on them, but they switched from 154 CM to S30V. When they switched to
Right.
S30V, they stopped doing the hollows. So, but when they had the 154 CM, they were hollow grinds. And anyways, I'm thinking about possibly doing the hollow on this because it'd be so awesome. But either way,
That'd be
still an
sick.
amazing knife the way it is. Tough knife, man. A really fucking tough knife.
Yeah, I'll probably end up getting one sooner or later, I'm sure.
Average
I
Joe
want to
says
get the
he's never
20
broken any.
CV one with the gray
I know
G10.
somebody who has oh no, they're the minis though. 2 minis that are for sale. The sheep's foot one and the regular one in 20 CV because they discontinued them.
I might be interested in the mini sheep's foot. Oh, you're frozen. Can you
Well,
hear me still? Hello? Hello? Uh-oh. I don't know what's going on. You're coming in
But
and out. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you're frozen on mine. You're coming in and out.
I
I don't know.
you guys can hear me right now.
Oh, you're coming back.
Are we good?
It's coming back. No, you're frozen again.
All
Shit.
right. All right. Fucking shit.
All right, I think it's
Just wait one second.
straightening out. Still a little weird, but
can you hear me at least? Can you hear me though?
I can hear you.
If you can hear me, then we're good.
Yeah,
Fuck
I can
it,
hear
then.
you now.
We'll just keep on rolling with it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's good. It's back to
they
normal.
discontinued them. He's got the Contigo for sale, the Saibu, and then and the 940, and the 940 2001, and the 2 Benchmade mini grips. Yeah, sorry about the
you know what
frozen,
he
guys.
wants for the
Yes, I do.
He wants for the mini sheep? All right. Well,
Yes,
I don't know if you want to talk about on here. Talk about 150.
Yep.
All right. I might want that.
Double Edge. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the donation. Quit smoking on the robot. DLC vaping is so bad for you. Yeah, so is everything else. Hey, it's better than what I used to smoke.
Same.
I've heard enough about broken omegas to keep me from buying a Benchmade, or at least, but don't do that. That's why I'm saying that, Walt. Don't do that because it will stop you from buying a knife that it might be your favorite knife. Don't do
you
that.
should at least
it's such
try
an
it out.
easy fix. Listen, if you break your Omega springs, it's such an easy fix. It's not like it's something that really you can have Etsy bought one sitting right there on the side of it. If it ever happens, you can replace it for $6. You can get a pair of them. And that's right? If you might not ever use them. Now, or you can just get some memory wire and make them yourself. But
I think it was like $6 for
the whole roll.
$6 for the whole roll.
Right.
And I still have a ton left, and I've made a bunch of them.
Right. So it's not something that you want. Like I said, I've had this one like the longest. Well, it was my second one, and it's never broken one. Zach, he's had 100.
I like the sound of that one.
He's never broken any. What's that?
I said I like the sound of that one.
I know, dude. This thing sounds amazing.
I'm like super big on knife sounds.
Me too.
Like that even goes into my. Like I have to have at least one of the knives that I'm carrying has to have a good sound to it at all times.
So I want to talk a little bit about fine edge. So, I'm sure most people in the chat, they probably watch, or hopefully they do. If not, go and follow Outpost 76. Outpost 76 does controlled cut tests all the time. You follow him.
He has a lot of a good steel testing, and if you want to nerd out on some steel stuff, he's great. And then like Super Steel Steve, Cedric Aneda, big time. Yeah,
we're gonna talk about him.
There's a lot of good steel
because he just did a video I want to talk about. But so Outpost 76 does these control cut tests, and if you guys ever notice, if you guys watch him, if not, I'll explain it. When he's doing his controlled cut tests, he always tells you the fine edge, basically how many feet of cardboard he can cut before the fine edge goes away. What he represents as a fine edge is when it stops shaving his hair, right? When it stops shaving his hair, he writes down that number. Then he'll continue to cut until it will start snagging on paper. When it starts snagging on paper, then he calls it. Then that's the working edge, that number of feet that he got with just the working edge. Then he adds the two together and has a total number of feet that it cuts. So talking about fine edge, we're not talking about the working edge. We'll talk a little bit about working edge, but just specifically with the fine edge.
Right.
The fine edge is like, you're fresh off the stone, and it's that edge when you touch your edge and you can feel it biting.
It cuts you.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel the
that.
need to keep all my knives at that level, and that's why if you watch any of my videos, almost every new video I have a new cut. Like I'm always ended up with little cuts. But
Yeah.
it's like I used to get like, scared to cut myself, but now I take it as like a compliment to myself, like, damn, I did a good job on that edge. I
Oh
actually
yeah,
get like kind of happy.
I know what you
And
mean. I
I
know
know
what you
it
mean.
sounds weird, but
Yeah.
if you're into sharpening and stuff, that's a big
It's
accomplishment, you know?
a-
It
Where'd
takes
that
a
come
long time to
from?
get
My
that.
microtech. It's like a badge of honor. But yeah, that really
But yeah, I
keen,
did that edge.
but that keen edge, it's nice to have. It's nice to have, but and I'm sure you get
You
caught up
don't
in this.
need it,
You don't
but I
need it.
like it.
Right. We're gonna
I
talk about not
I
needing
mean,
it and going too far.
I need it, but I don't really need it.
Willow, thank you. Shane, thank you. You did good. Yes, Shane. I should have said that this whole time. Shane, man, you are awesome. You did such a good job on all this. Thank you so much for putting all this together. He made all of our channels, all
Yeah,
the channels in this whole entire 24-hour live. He made our jobs very simple. Thank you, bud, for
yeah.
putting
Shout
in
out to
all the work.
Shane.
Yeah,
Thank you
shout out to
so much.
Shane. He put in that work, boy, and I'm telling you, man, he's been
Yeah,
pretty stressed out, I can imagine. And Choir Boy, thank you, Choir Boy, sent in a super sticker. Thank you for the 5 bones, man. Thank you. And the keen edge though, I know you do this too because I do this where a knife's not even dull. It's just lost its
yeah.
keen edge.
It's
And you've
because of
stropped
my
it back.
OCD,
Right. You strop it back a few times and it comes back. You get it back a few times, but
man.
then it's not coming back no more. It's done with that, and I'm talking about that nasty edge. Well,
Man, it's kind of embarrassing, but I mean, I'm
you'll
so
just go to
bad with it. I'm so
resharpen.
OCD. Like, no, I'll strop as long as I can, but I'm talking about I'll do it like every couple things that I cut. Like, it's not just like once a week or
Right, right.
once every couple days. It's like if I cut a couple things, I'm stropping it that day.
Yeah. Cut a piece of
And
paper, back to the strop.
right,
But that
yeah.
can be bad. And I know that. Like we can
Well,
go
I've
overboard for sure. Right. There's a
yeah,
point where it's like use your edge until it's dull because you're wasting steel. You're wasting steel. And I'm talking about full blown sharpening now, not stropping. But when you
yeah,
go to just your edge really isn't that bad, and you go straight to sharpening again, and you could have used that steel. However, there are some steels, and I think most people know this, that there's some steels that just take a better edge than others. And it's not even about the actual number of the steel, right? It's not the number, it's the heat treat. Like I've had
yeah,
some steels where literally, it's a good steel, good quality steel, like, and I've gotten a keen edge on that steel many, many times, but this one just, it's not taking that fucking that nasty edge. It's just not doing it. And there's
yeah,
nothing you can do about it. Like it's just that's the heat treat that one's got. It's soft. It just doesn't take that keen edge. And with those, it's kind of hard not to keep stropping because it's like they're slick. It's like just
yeah,
keeping that bite on them. It's hard to do. It's hard to keep that bite on them. And you try to go to strop, but you can only strop a couple times, and then now it's just slick again. So it's like those ones are basically only good for I don't know, just regular EDC use. You don't really get proud of those edges.
I've actually stropped so much
Thank
that
you, bud.
I'm at the point now that I can I can keep a knife at that level for like almost like forever it feels without needing to resharpen it just off the strop because I've learned to be really careful not to round it and just the amount of pressure and the
Yep,
angle. So I'm at the point now
that's a big
that
deal.
I can do that without it, negatively affecting me
Yeah, you're using
or
that
negative
that balsa wood too, which helps you keep that
bats.
nice flat edge. And that's going
Bats.
to be
It's
the
harder.
difference. It is harder, it's flatter. Double edge. Thank you, brother. And also, Steel
Doesn't
Forge
wrap
should fire
around.
again, man. Thank you. We need more USA made knives. Keep up the fight. Double edge. Absolutely. And you know, today I was carrying, just because of the cause, man, I pulled out my Spartan Harsey folder, had to go all USA, baby. So yes, USA, step up the game. Let's get some more knives out here, guys. I mean, you seen Medford, they just made a new company. I have seen a couple little companies sprouting up here and there, and I think that's amazing. Let's keep it going. Um, but yeah, that balsa wood though, a lot of people
It's
seem to like
bass.
it. Balsa wood, whatever. I'm just saying the wood, you know,
Yeah.
using that type of wood. Some people use paint sticks and stuff, but
But
that wood, nice and flat, nice and hard. Now
I
there's
find it.
leather. Hey, did you get me some coffee yet?
What?
Did you get me some coffee yet?
Oh, sorry, no, I didn't.
You're fucking slacking.
I'm not slacking. I'm a good wife.
I need some coffee. Holy shit. Fucking dying over here, woman. Thank you. Oh,
Hey,
that's good shit.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Take a sip and
Mm.
then put your lid on.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's delicious.
Gotta keep
Thank
it
you, baby.
warm.
damn,
Oh,
I'm jealous now.
you should be.
Should be super
Yeah, I
jealous.
know.
Thank you, baby.
Yep. What y'all talking about, huh?
Knives.
Just 40-hour
Dropping.
24-hour live?
24 hours. We're not even tired yet.
Talking now. You're not really
24 hours. It's me and Blades and Fades for 24 hours.
What is
Hey,
that?
we
What
could
you got?
do it.
What you got there?
What's your knife?
Oh, he's got a
This
hinder.
is my
Oh, the
XM18 3.5 inch harpoon spanto.
Damn, yours has
Four
like
PI.
stuff in it. Yeah, I have one of them's. I got one of them's right here. I flipped that open so bad.
Look at that.
His is pretty though. He's got stuff in it. Oh wait,
5 bones for the.
Oh,
Look at that.
shit.
Who's that?
yeah, I got paid for my coffee delivery.
Thank you, Zach.
Those engravings are
Yeah, it's texture.
Yeah, no, that
I
is
like
sweet.
that.
That's
No,
a badass.
damn, mine is
That's
slacking
badass.
now.
Man, look at that edge.
Spanky!
Look at that edge.
Let's go,
laid
Jared, and
that bitch
everyone
back.
else in the knife community. You
Damn.
guys are superstars of the man. Thank you,
Look at
man.
that edge.
You're awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah,
Look
I
at that
know.
mirror,
No,
bro.
I know. He's doing a good job. That is
edge.
beautiful. It's nice that it can come up right now
I know,
because the
that
lives
shows you
just
how
yeah.
wide of an edge
Yeah.
it is for it to show like that.
because the lives suck at showing edges.
Yeah, no,
Great job. That looks
that's an
beautiful,
edge.
man.
Who did it?
Thank
did
you, Spanky.
another-
He does.
You
He
did.
does. Yeah, yeah. He's been doing KME work.
This one I did for my buddy.
Damn, yeah. See, I like them thick edges.
I
Like
do
that.
too. I do
I
too.
always
Some
ask you to do me a thick edge.
well on some knives.
That's
No,
what you
no,
tell me. You're
no,
like,
no,
the
no,
geometry of
no.
this bullet shape
You can't
won't
handle
call
it.
for
That's the
thick
problem.
edge, and it's not going to be toothy for your jab.
She comes home with more microchipping than I've ever seen. I mean, she could have three.
I use my shit. Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I give her a low edge, oh man, it's gonna be all fucked up.
I want one though.
Well, even though this looks like it's laid way back
Yeah.
because it's such a thicker blade stock, this is
Right.
actually a
Yeah.
20-degree
20 degrees,
edge,
right?
No,
and it
that's
still
good.
has a lot of strength.
No, yeah, that's
Especially
the way.
with this
that's-
this
that's what I
hinder
always say.
heat treat. They
Yeah.
do a really good job with their steel.
When they're thick like that, you can it's going to be bigger, right? Even if it's not laid back
Yeah.
because it's so thick behind the edge. But since it's thick behind the edge, you can go a little bit lower if you want to because you got the thickness, kind of adding the strength. But yeah, I always
Yeah.
say 17 to 20 degrees is like for a roundabout number, basically a perfect edge angle between 17 and 20.
I go from between 15 and 20.
Yeah. Right.
Depending
I do 15
on-
sometimes, but not as often.
Like I'll do that on like my my Spidey Chef
Uh-huh.
or my Capara because these I just use in the kitchen.
Yep.
So I'm not beating these up or using these for anything hard. And that 15
Pull knives
with
out.
this thing grind,
Yeah.
dude, this thing is scary.
Yeah. It looks like it.
Yeah.
So with talking about edges, right, and geometry, I want to talk just a little bit about thinness behind the edge. Well, just blade geometry, not just edge geometry, but we can mix that. But blade geometry, right?
Because
Like, I
the
personally-
grind also on the
Well,
paper.
I think the taper, right? The taper from the spine thickness, X spine thickness down to, blank thinness behind the edge. I personally
Right.
think with when we're talking about thinness behind the edge, starting with the edge, I think you don't really want to go under 10,000s. I think under 10,000s it starts getting too fragile. Now, obviously, I know there's going to be some really good steels out there that can support it, but overall, right? Overall, and we're talking about EDC knives that could be
I
used a
feel
little
like
hard.
it.
Go ahead.
I feel like it's kind of. I have a harder time sharpening a knife that's that thin behind the edge, because especially if you're using diamonds, I feel like
Want to join?
the diamonds just want to rip through the. It's really hard to get a good edge on a knife that thin, for me,
Well,
because
I
it
was gonna.
just eats it away so easily.
Yeah, you do want to. You can instead of starting with a very low grit, you can start with more of a medium grit. But
Right.
I personally think the best, and this is just for me, the best thinness behind the edge, I think 15,000s, because you're getting the stability and the sliciness into one. Right? It's really thin behind the edge still. That's very,
Yeah.
very thin. I think we kind of forget how
Yeah, I
thin
think
that
you
is.
guys have a distorted view. I'm saying you guys, but I think everyone in this hobby has the most distorted view of thinness. And it's like a game. Who can get it thinner? You know what I'm talking about? Who can get it thinner? And it's like, if you can't
Yeah.
shave a hair directly in half with no tautness, it's not thin enough.
But
Vertical
it's
ways.
because though there were so many companies in the past it's like they didn't know about cutting geometry. They were just going straight for toughness.
Yeah.
It was like they were doing
Right.
axe like geometry for an
Because
EDC.
there wasn't the people that were out there doing the testing and stuff. Like, that's a
Right.
newer
Yep.
creation since the
I
internet.
remember when that shit
There was
started
nobody to
making
complain.
waves.
There was nobody to complain.
Yeah.
Now
I mean, they
though,
might have been
now
complaining, but it wasn't everybody else
nobody was
hearing
hearing it.
about it.
People would bitch, but nobody would hear it. But I think also, especially for the USA companies, we were so into toughness.
Medbirds.
Yeah.
We wanted them thick as snot, as tough as you could get. Just like
That cold steel promo shit.
right. Well, Hinders and Medfords
Even
and
Benchmades, they made some
Microtech.
thinner knives, but they still.
I can't lie.
I'm
I'm a sucker for that beefy aesthetic, the whole beefy,
Oh, me too.
badass, strong knife thing.
Me too.
But I really enjoy a knife that cuts really good also.
Me too.
So
Yeah.
I usually end up carrying one of each.
I do see. I find myself. It just depends. Obviously, it depends. But like at my work, I tend to lean towards more slicey, just because it makes life easier. Now, the thicker
Yep.
stuff is nice. Like I like it, right? I like it, but
Yeah.
I don't find myself actually requiring it, because we're
Yeah.
talking about now. Do you need geometry that can pry a staple? Do you need geometry that can pry, like crates and stuff apart? It's like I usually don't. So what I'm looking for is the cutting performance, because I want it to cut really
Well,
good.
I think that's
And
the new fad. It's
I
like
did-
the fad.
Where
I
was
did a
that found?
video prying staples with this.
Is that a Medford?
Microtech.
Microtech?
No.
I meant
Microtech
Microtech. I don't know
SoCom.
why I said Medford. I always say those.
Why
two
did
back
I
to
Yeah.
think Blades and Fades had a mask
I
on his
know
neck?
that fucking comment got me.
That's funny.
'Cause it does look like it for a second.
He's got a bandana around his neck. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah,
man,
I did a video
edges.
prying with this, and it took it. No
Yeah.
problem. It didn't break.
Yeah,
the
no,
tip.
for sure. I pried at mine too. I actually, in my review, I was actually breaking bottles and prying pallets with it. But
this-
that's my point.
This
Is that
might
that's
be
the type of knife that can
one of
do
my
that.
favorite hard users.
Me too.
This
Me too.
thing is
I
such
love
a
it.
beast.
It is a beast. But you know what's
Yeah,
crazy?
you can cut to the bone on your knee. I learned.
Yeah, she cut herself to the bone underneath,
To the bone.
cutting bottles.
Yeah,
in half.
I've cut myself to the bone quite a few times.
That one can do it. I tell you what, it sure
Yeah.
did.
I was throwing water bottles at her, and she was cutting them in the air, and she went down and hit
I used
herself.
to
Oh,
play
God.
volleyball, so I just followed through. Like playing sports. You don't do that with a knife,
Mhm.
but I just, you have that muscle memory from sports or whatever.
Yep.
And I followed through as hard as I could right into my knee, and I cut another
Yeah.
bottle all before I realized it. don't know if
Yeah, no, I
closed,
do. It's videotape.
I've been just like flicking a knife before and like not paying attention and closed it and had it come down
Yes,
into
I
my
have too.
leg.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
Ooh.
done
almost just
everything.
did
I've
it.
done everything there is.
Almost just did it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, and you feel so dumb when you do it too, because you're like, you realize how
Yeah,
not
like, what
careful
the
you were
fuck?
being.
Right.
Yeah. There was one time I was doing this and I was doing that and catching it,
Uh-huh.
and I let go and I was like, oh, I don't want to catch the blade, and it just went right into my thigh.
Yeah. Ooh.
That was immediately.
I accidentally dropped a knife that I had just sharpened, and my natural reaction was to try to catch it with my foot so it didn't break the tip on the floor.
That's
And
funny.
it cut the shit out of my big toe.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
like it cut like halfway through the tip of it, like down to the bone.
Damn.
And just
Yes,
like all the other ones.
Hogs
bust
are
out the
usually
super
on the
glue.
beefier. Sorry, hogs are usually on the beefier side, but they do have some out there that are relatively slicey. But yeah, hogs can be on the beefier side.
Speaking of beefy, what did you do with my purple hinder? That's what I was looking for.
Oh,
Oh man, I
it's
love
gone.
that one.
I know. What? Why did you say that
That's
it's gone?
the half track,
Not here right
right?
now. Talika's got it.
Talika,
Talking
is he
about the
here
half
right now?
track.
Quagmire,
Yeah,
thank you,
that
bud.
one.
Encourage.
Is Talika here right now?
No, he's not.
Well,
He's
he
at work.
better-
You guys talking about the half track?
Yeah, my beautiful.
Oh man, I want to try one of those so bad.
It's
That
so
thing looks
dope.
nice.
I carried
We can
that
send
thing
it to
so
you.
much, but I saw it here. the
Let me
other
read
day.
this damn
I'm
donation.
upset.
Encouraged you from the start, Jared. Look at you now, flicking Bitcoin of the knife community, tipping blades and fades to follow you in your footsteps. Giggity, giggity. Ooh,
Giggity,
yeah.
giggity. Ooh, yeah. You
Ooh,
didn't
yeah.
read that right. Giggity, giggity. Ooh,
Much
yeah.
love, much
Thank you, man.
love.
Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. But yeah,
That's the real
just
Quagmire.
as soon as it comes back, I'll send it to you.
That's gotta be the real deal.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
the
Tara.
format.
No, I will send it to you. 'Cause
She'll
it's
send it to you.
mine,
She'll send it
but
to you.
I'll send it to you.
I love the Formax Scout and my Wee Smooth Sentinel equally, and for different reasons. Yeah, that Formax is a fucking beast, man. That's like when I think of the ultimate hard use knife, like you can't get any tougher. I think of the Formax. What about you?
That thing is so expensive though.
But
Or
so was
like,
a Demco 8020. How much you spend on
yeah,
that?
but it's a lockback though.
I know.
Ugh.
No, don't say you can't say
That's
that.
a turn off for me.
Do that statement again. What is it?
Ooh.
A lockback.
It's a what? It's a
Backlock.
triad,
Backlock.
dog.
You can't diss the
Triad,
triad.
yeah.
You make a lot of people
I
mad.
You
ain't
just
a-
literally,
I ain't a
I just had
triad
everybody unsub from my channel because you called it a backlog.
Man, the triad.
Sorry, guys.
But you got to imagine though, like think about the shark lock. The shark lock, you know, it's badass because of how easy it is to fidget with and everything. But it's real badassery comes from its strength. It can hold weight like a triad lock, and that's how badass you know a triad lock is. Because if you have to say the shark lock is as strong or almost as strong as a triad lock. Think about that statement. You're literally putting triad lock up here when you talk about shark lock. That's how badass the triad lock is.
See,
So
I've
I'm
never
looking-
failed. I've never put a knife through enough to actually fail its lock. So I'd rather have the ease of manipulation
Me too.
versus that little extra bit of strength.
Me too. But
Or
like
even
I said,
if it's a lot of extra.
but I still think that Formax, and I love the 8020. I think that's about the toughest knife I have. It is. It's the toughest knife I have.
This is probably the toughest one you have.
Yeah, that one is.
Definitely that one.
But the Formax would smoke its ass in a strength contest. The Formax, it's so thick and so big and beefy.
You really think so?
Oh fuck yeah, I know so. Without a
I
doubt
don't have
in
a
my
dog
mind.
in this fight.
Without
I
a
don't know
doubt
neither,
in my
so.
mind.
I can't really speak on it.
The format, like you could axe something with that thing. That thing is a beast.
It looks
a
like
monster.
it's like a folding fixed blade.
What's that?
It's like a folding fixed blade.
Yeah.
That's what it
last
looks
year
like
had a
to
lot to do
me.
with the thickness of the spine too. You know, we didn't even talk about geometry. We totally just skipped that. Went right to triad locks. I carry 2 knives plus a belt buckle knife. There you go. Oh yeah. All right, I'm catching up. So, but what I was getting to with the geometry thing was, oh shit, I got a donation. I didn't miss it. Jason Brown, thank you, brother. Can we get a shout out for Bill? Prox 1840. He really misses being in the chats and hopes to get back soon. Love you, Bill. Shout out to Bill.
Shout out to
Wish you
Bill.
were here, brother. Wish you were here. Thank you for the donation, man. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it, man. And shout out to Billy Boy. Woohoo, come home and join great conversation thoughts. So American people, I'm in France. It's time for me to it's time for me
to get some rest.
To get some rest and see you on the next live tomorrow morning. For me, I have a great evening night. See you later, brother.
Later.
Thank you for coming through. Get some rest. It'll be going long enough.
I'm pretty sure you're in the same time frame as us. It's like
France?
A little bit. I'm saying like he's saying it's bedtime for him. I mean, it's 6:30. They must just be. How do you know?
How do you know time?
I don't. I'm saying he must be cool. He's got to go to bed. He must be just a few hours ahead.
Anyways, OCD for EDC is going to be coming up in 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I will be putting him in the chat. We did not get to even. Not even a quarter of the things we were going to talk about.
Oh God.
So we were going to talk about a bunch of shit. So, but what I was talking about with the geometry, and actually, I'm going to talk about Cedric and Ada really quick. So Cedric and Ada, P from Cedric and Ada, he recently tested the button lock Elementum, and take away the fact that it doesn't have a deployment besides the button, right? Everybody knows that. Everybody hates that it doesn't have a deployment option, but the button, you have to swing it, which I think it's kind of cool, right? I would prefer it with a deployment option, but whatever. But my point is,
for someone that's not good at flicking knives, they might really like it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It might make him feel dope.
And he brought up the thing that it locks when it's closed. So he says he likes that. You don't have to worry about the blade popping out. So
I think that's cool too.
But the performance, like this thing, the blade shape. I mean, you know what it's very similar to? The Gale Bradley 2. If you take the Gale Bradley,
it surprised me.
They're the same. Like they are literally the same.
Oh yeah, sure.
I had one when it first came out, and I didn't even cut with it before I sold it because I didn't really like it. And then I had somebody send one in to me to actually check it out and review.
Talking about the Gale Bradley?
I cut with it. No, the button lock.
Elementum.
And after I cut with it, I was like, damn, I should have kept that. But I just like wrote it off because of the button lock factor. But after I actually tried it, I was like, this thing's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it has
really good.
It has a deep,
and it digs into material like
really good.
Easy,
and since it's the 14C and it's Civivi's 14C, which they're running it supposedly at 61 HRC, and I think they are, it takes a really nasty sharp edge, like an aggressive.
I think it's a good cutter for sure.
And
it carries great.
Yeah, it is. It's nice and compact. But like Cedric and Ada was there, Pete from Cedric and Ada, he was talking about how perfect the grind is. And this is something I talked about in my review. The grind is so perfect from one side to the other. It's nice and even, but the hollow grind is done so well. Very similar. Like, what are you laughing about?
That fucking comment just killed me.
It has a crown spine too, right?
I don't no, it's not a crown spine, but it is
rounded.
It's not rounded. It's chamfered on the edges, so almost like that.
All right.
But the geometry is done so well. It's perfect for cutting, and that's kind of the beauty of it. It's got a beautiful 100%. Tip on it. So for use, and also the ergos, nice and neutral. And these are all things he was talking about. And I left him a comment saying, I hope you do a cut test because I'd love to see him do it because I did a controlled cut test on it. So I'd love to see him do a controlled cut test. But speaking about that, the Gale Bradley 2 now, one of my most ultimate user knives. These for use, like
I didn't know that. I didn't know you use it a lot.
You don't know enough about me. It's for actual use. No, it sucks to fidget with. It's not like that's what kind of sucks about it. That's what I hate it so much because it's like I love everything, but the D10 sucks so bad. It's so bad.
I tuned mine up. I actually have D10s that fit this, and
You
I
talking about the
drilled out
D10 ball, or you talking about the lock strength?
I have ceramic D10 balls that are
Okay.
the size for this, and then I have one size up, and I messed around with my D10 setup in this until I got it good. I drilled out the hole just a hair,
Okay.
so it's still the D10 ball doesn't go all the way in to where like the liner's laying flat against the blade, but
Okay.
it's in a little bit further than it was from the factory, and
Okay.
it gives it just that little extra bit of strength to make the action so much better.
Yeah. Well, mine sucks. Okay, so
This one was horrible when I got it.
it doesn't make
It's good
sense.
now.
And since it's such a good knife, though, like I'm talking just for use, the ergos melt in your hand, dude. This thing's so comfortable. The geometry. Have you measured your thickness behind your edge on yours?
I have not. I have a
Mine's
caliper though.
10 thousandths at the thinnest point. It
All
ranges
right.
between 10 and 15.
Shit, I think mine might even be less than that.
Bang. So since it's so thin behind the edge and it has such a deep hollow, this thing slices like a champ, and I love the blade shape. And the Elementum is just like this. Like literally everything's the same except for the hole. Like you can put them
I
side
don't know
by
about
side,
just
and they're
like. I think
identical.
it's close. I think
Well,
it's really close.
if you put them side by side, they sit right on top of each other. It's almost
They're
like
identical
they cut
Oh
it out.
wow.
Like
with the Spidey hole.
If
That's the
I-
difference.
if I
All
take
right.
it,
All right, I see it now.
In
I see
person,
it.
it's like
Take off
really
the hole.
Yep. Damn, that's some forgery right there.
Right.
It literally is
Look that.
just Well, the Gale Bradley 2's been around first, right?
Well, the one which was
Wafers.
basically the same thing. The one had the same thing. Oh wait, no, it was a flat grind. It was a flat
Oh.
grind.
And let me just say, the reason I spit this coffee out laughing was because Q1 Fiend said, it took me a second to get it, so when I got it, I wasn't expecting to be drinking, but he said, why does everyone always talk about lock rock but not lock metal? Do you get it?
Mm-mm.
Think
Why
about
does
it.
everyone talk about
He's
lock
making
rock?
like a music joke.
Yes. And
Oh.
I was like, what the fuck is that comment? What's lock
Yep.
metal? And then it just dawned on me like, oh, lock rock. But
Ha,
yeah.
ha, ha.
It was so dumb that it made me.
That was a great one.
She loves dad jokes.
Q1 Fiend.
Oh
I never
god.
knew him to be such a joke search either, so it really caught me off guard.
We are way past the Rockstead. Instead,
The-
we are pulling up
Would
the.
you still do the rock step for 40
No,
likes?
I
So-
haven't in a long time.
The best
What do
thing
you got?
about the Gale Bradley 2, since we're on this topic, is that it's available again. Finally.
Is it?
Yep. It was on pre-order for a while, and now I'm pretty sure they're in stock at a couple places. So-
Mike's acting like he got
and
it.
it's below $200. It's like 160.
Is
So
it?
not bad at all.
Nice.
Yeah,
So anybody
they were
wants one.
like 200 minimum on the secondary market until they finally came back with more of them. So yeah.
So before we get out of here, we have to do a giveaway, and just in case if it takes a little bit, let's do one really quick. We're gonna give away the Matt Degnan design Stellar from Concept.
That knife is dope.
It's gone. So we're gonna give this away really quick, and we are going to do it different
something
this
very
time.
high.
So I'm gonna write down a number, but we're gonna make it a little different this time because usually you guys wind up picking it twice and everything else.
Everyone freaks out.
So what I'm
Is
gonna
there a
do,
better way to do this than that?
yes, we're just gonna do this. I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna do it. There's 168 people in here. Everybody only gets one answer.
Oh, that's never gonna work. Are you kidding me?
Let me finish.
We're gonna just.
Let me
we're just
finish.
gonna
Can I finish?
Come on.
We're gonna get one answer, and it's the closest person to the number. Okay, you don't have to hit the number perfectly. Whoever gets it the closest.
Without going over.
What?
Well,
If-
that's how
if,
it's
that-
normally
if,
done.
if it goes over, as long as it's the closest.
Okay,
If
then-
there's
well,
two
that's a
people,
common-
then they're
that's a
gonna
common
battle it out. If there's two people,
This seems.
So it's not the closest without going over, it's just the closest period.
just the closest period. I mean, shouldn't that be
He's
how?
like, that's not normal.
I thought that's how it goes.
No, it's always. The
I mean,
closest.
it don't make a difference to me. Oh,
It doesn't make a difference to me either. Okay, fine then. Fine then. New rules.
No, I'm.
You
don't
can't go over. Since Kara doesn't want you to go over. So
Do you know why
whoever
they do
gets
that?
the number above it, just know Kara is the one who rips your fucking your shit from you, okay? All right. Now,
Damn.
all right, so I'm gonna count it down.
Which way is it for real?
Don't start yet. What?
Is it really not going over now?
Yeah, you can't go over. And the numbers are between 0 and 200. Only between 0 and 200. That's it. Woman carry knives. What's up?
How are
Okay.
you gonna watch if people really don't use smaller ones? That's another thing. to
Because I
watch.
can just, there's only 100, there's 170 people in here. I'm going to
Okay.
count. How does, you know what's crazy is the number always goes up as soon as, I know you guys have 3 fucking different systems.
Yeah. Well,
So there's at least 10 people in here with 2 devices. So we'll just say you guys are smart asses. All right, you guys ready? Set,
their names are-
go. Yeah, they have different devices, different names. Their girlfriends, their aunts, their cousins. That's why
You gotta refresh your comments, baby.
it went from
You
160.
should watch them on here.
Yeah.
Probably.
How do you refresh?
I don't know, but look how many there already are.
New
Holy
comments.
Fucking shit.
Oh, right there. You just go to new comments. All right.
Well, wait. Are we looking? I don't understand because we're not looking for the exact
I am.
number.
No, it just have to be close.
Okay.
They might get it. But remember, you only get one number, so
Yeah,
don't
is
you
there
put
a-
twice.
I'm not.
Can you even say
I'm not
everything?
in this,
Yes.
right?
You guys aren't
Somebody
listening.
asked.
Yes, between 0 and 200.
Because
I'm not supposed to guess, right?
You're not supposed to guess.
But
All right.
there's people that are really close.
Uh-huh. And then after, nobody say anything because I want the chat to stop so I know when it's like over if you guys can possibly
can
handle
stop?
yourselves. Well, they're only supposed to answer once.
Supposed to.
So I better not see 5 comments, Brian. Brian. Stop
Oh,
with the
man.
comments, Brian.
That's messed up.
Don, you thought it was going to be 69, didn't you? Fuck. B. Wallace is in the house.
I feel like if I was the one picking the number,
pull his up
I
really
would
quick.
never pick that number. Just,
No, I'm not. I'm just pulling up
just
the
for that
numbers.
fact. Just because I know that there would be a lot of people guessing.
You guys
that
better not
number.
be picking twice. Okay.
So we're waiting for them to just stop on their own.
Well, no, I'm about to stop it in just a second. Because I just want to make sure. Okay, so everybody should have their numbers in by now. So we are going to.
Type stop in the chat.
So,
anything after your
Nothing
comment.
after this. You guys should have had your numbers in by now. Stop. All right.
We'll
So
probably just stop and go up,
as of right now, I can't tell you who won it, but
'cause we gotta- Oh, here, I found it here.
okay.
Wait, I gotta change this.
I
to
found it
one.
too. I found it too. All right. So give us
No,
one
it
second.
isn't.
I'm pretty sure I already know who the winner is, just so you guys know.
But okay, it's without going over though, right?
Without going over, I'll tell you.
saw it.
I can tell you what you saw the exact number.
No, I saw the closest without.
Yeah,
going
I
over,
saw the
'cause
closest
nobody
too.
guessed the exact number.
The closest as of right now is
As of right now.
as of right now.
Don't say that. Just wait. Don't fucking do that.
Oh, Wallace answered twice.
See,
Sneaky bastard.
Now you
Oh,
have to check
But
so
it doesn't
much
matter. It
information.
doesn't
Disqualified.
matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
disqualified.
Don't be trying that shit. I'll catch it.
Me?
No, him.
Seems logical.
I was saying,
Say go.
if I was the one making the rules, I would say if you give more than one guess, disqualified.
Yeah, this will take fucking 3 days.
That was what I don't know.
Everybody
If-
answered
You
twice.
made this so much harder when it's
Why? I already know
No,
who
but
won.
if you say that in the beginning, then
Then they don't
know,
do it.
only-
No, no. Oh yeah,
because
right.
if
Yeah,
they
you're right.
get
You're right.
caught,
You're right,
then
you're
they're
right.
disqualified.
Okay,
They know that
so
they have zero chance of
they
winning
give me
if
a
they get
timestamp.
caught.
If they think they did it, if they think they beat, let me go up to that one. Where is that one?
6:40 p.m.
So pull it up really quick so I can see it.
I can't do that on here.
No, I just mean like just look at it so I can see the name. The name Dominic
Gila Umbardo.
with 169. The number was 170.
Wow.
He got 169.
There was nothing. I
So-
don't think there was a 170.
As of right now, he's the winner. If anybody else can tell me that they picked it and prove it,
Well, I mean, prior to him, I don't see any.
I don't see anything either. Before,
Is it only
before.
prior, or were you doing? Was it the first person to guess closest, or just period?
The first-
So everyone got one guess in.
The first person to guess the closest.
It should be the last person.
guys said
No,
that.
I
I'm
thought you
just
said
kidding.
everyone gets one guess.
Yeah,
So we
well,
have
as
to
long as they
look
did,
all-
as long as they said it once. So,
So don't we have to look at all of them and make sure there's?
well, I have
no?
been. I haven't seen anything closer. Have you? I haven't seen anything closer.
No.
So
Why
you,
do you- and there,
damn
I
it, why
didn't-
did it do that?
I didn't see a 171.
Remember, you can't go over either.
I
Remember
know, and
that.
I didn't see a 171. So technically, Dominic won no matter what.
She's trying to get herself out of
But it worked.
messing up.
It worked.
Whoever-
That's how it's-
Whoever
Oh.
put in
Literally,
171.
somebody
She's
fuck with
trying.
me and tell me that's not how this shit's normally done. Closest without going over. That's fucking. What was that show? Price is Right. That's where that came
Well,
from.
the price
is the
is
Price is
wrong.
Hey, this is Price is Wrong.
All right. So, Dominic, send me your information. And if anybody else can prove that you were the actual winner, send me a screenshot.
Then fuck Dominic. Then.
Then
Just-
fuck Dominic.
Just fuck that.
So
I would've-
Dominic, be excited.
177. I would have won
For
with
now.
Sarah. That's funny because that actually was pretty close.
EDC Oz, thank you. Keep those metrics up. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, see, I told you.
No, but it's funny because he said that before we were done guessing.
He would have
before
won.
He knew the
He
number.
would have
But
won.
he said 177, so he was very close, but went over.
He
But
wa-
Dominic was closer.
so close.
either
So
way,
close.
I'm out of the woods. Ooh, 173.
Cue ball. I'm erasing your comment.
Why? What do you do?
Nothing. All right. So, Dominic, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Now,
Congratulations, Dom.
let's get back to some knife talk. You won yourself really quickly. You won yourself. Where to go?
Oh, I love it here.
She tried to already steal it
I
too.
really
She
like
tried
it.
to already steal it from you guys. The Matt Degnan
I
design
like that thing a lot.
concept stellar titanium frame lock S35 VN. Very smooth action flipper. Small flipper too. Really cool. I got a full review on it. There we go.
Let's go,
There's the winner.
Brandon.
Congratulations. Let's go, Brandon. All right, back to some
Yeah,
knife talk.
nobody else tried, so.
All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about strength and toughness. Seth, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I love you guys too. Thank you for the donation.
Is Dominic still in the chat? Did he say anything?
I'm sure he will. Dominic, make sure you message me on Instagram.
Kara, Jared is mad that I said you're correct. Thank you. Thank you. Very much.
So he
for
says it twice.
that.
Somebody get him out of here, please. All right, so strength versus toughness. Now, a lot of times people mistaken the two and they mix the two together. Quagmire with this 60. Of course, he picked number 69. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys go for the rest of the night. It was very nice sitting in on this for a minute.
All right,
but
baby.
I'm gonna
Thank you for the
go,
coffee.
Good
play
to see you.
some pot or something.
Best coffee ever.
To be real, I sat here because I really wanted to drink that coffee as well.
Oh, that's the
That was my
reason.
motivation.
That's the
but
reason.
I had to get to
Oh.
It wasn't for you guys.
it. It
for
was.
the
I mean,
coffee.
I came for the coffee, but I stayed for you guys.
Yeah,
so-
right.
And for the fact that your giveaway was whack and
Whack.
your rules were
Yeah,
whack.
yeah.
My
that's
rules
what-
were
that's what
perfect.
Nicole would say.
It
You're,
went.
you're perfect.
Do you realize this was the easiest
You
one
are
we ever did? Do you
perfect.
realize this was
Oh.
the easiest one we ever did?
You're perfect.
Was it not?
You're perfect.
Was it not the easiest
Yeah,
one?
'cause you're
Okay,
perfect.
thank you. Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. Cue ball
There
says
you go,
99.
making me more jealous again. I
Yeah.
wish somebody would call me perfect.
You're jealous because you want Jared?
No, I'm jealous
He wants the coffee.
because he has somebody that thinks he's perfect.
He is. He really
Yeah.
is.
Thank you,
He
baby.
really is.
Will you do me one more favor?
Yeah.
Grab
Get
me
your
my-
jewel.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
over there on the thing on the charger.
Read your mind.
Thank you. Okay, so toughness versus strength. So there is a huge difference. Now, a lot of people think it's the same thing. And a lot of times we do use it interchangeably, but it's actually two different things. So when you think of strength, you want to think of it kind of like how much something can hold. So think about like standing on a log or something like that, or putting pressure on something. That's strength. How much can it hold? Now, toughness is going to be how much can it take going fast, like an impact. So when you think of like Cliff Stamp, put it this way. Shout out to Cliff Stamp.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
Yep.
Cliff Stamp. He said it like concrete. You can take a piece of concrete and stand on it, and it'll hold you forever. But if you hit it with a hammer, it'll shatter. Well, that's toughness. It'll shatter if you hit it, and strength is it'll hold you. Now, it'll break because even though it can hold a lot, it can't take it when it's going fast. So like the impact of an edge, like if you're cutting through something and you hit a staple, right? Or if you are chopping and you hit something and it chips your edge, something, that's toughness. So, and what we're trying to get usually with most knives, especially in 2021, we're trying to basically get the thinnest geometry possible with good edge stability that doesn't roll or chip. Like that's kind of the goal, right? So when we're looking for the perfect steel or the perfect geometry, we're trying to blend that together. What steel can we get at the best geometry without, like I was saying earlier, under 10,000 tends to be a little too fragile, especially when you're talking about, doing anything like side to side with your edge. You're going to wind up getting chips in your edge, rolls in your edge, and stuff like that. So, but if you make it just a little bit thicker, like 15,000s, it winds up becoming more stable. Now, obviously, there's different steels. Some steels are worse than others, but
Just like
15, sorry, go ahead.
Just like the difference between 15-degree edge and a 17-degree, the reason why people usually don't go below that, because just the smallest amount can make a huge difference.
Huge difference. Now, even though the cutting performance goes up, so you're going to get the cutting performance with the 15 degrees, but it's going to become a lot more fragile, a lot more susceptible to the microchipping, like we were talking about earlier with the carbides not being able to get that fine at the tip of the apex.
Can't get down to it.
Right, they can't get down to it. And then if they do, and you sharpen it, say with diamonds, and you do sharpen the apex, and the apex has the carbides in it, it doesn't have enough steel surrounding it, holding it, bonding it. So it chips very easily. Cue Ball's asking Zach a question, and Fiend put up a thing. You can support the channel directly on Patreon. Thank you, Q and Fiend. I dude. And thank you so much. Yes, I do have a Patreon, and I appreciate. I've gotten a lot of support, and I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
I am late on the giveaway. I know. I have it ready. I'm going to do a video. I'll probably post it this weekend for all the patron members because, man, we have a badass giveaway. And I don't even want to give it away, but I'm gonna because I love you guys. Not going to be bothered with it. Tried, don't know how to. So screw it. What are we talking about, Willow? What's wrong? The instructions are on the Knife Rights website. You email your receipt to the email address listed on the page. So if you go, we already put the link in, but I'm sure Fiend or Seems Logical will put up the link to Knife Rights. Go to the Knife Rights, and after you put your donation with every $10, screenshot your receipt from your donation and send it to the email address that's listed on the page. It's really simple. It's really easy. You just take your receipt that they'll send you the electronic receipt, screenshot it, and then send it to their email address. That'll get you an entry. You can do it 5 times, 10 times. If you can do 5 in one email, and that'll give you 5 entries. Just make sure you take 5 separate screenshots or whatever, or prove that all in one screenshot, that you have 5 entries or $50 or whatever. I use 20 degrees. Works for me in the field. And I agree. I put 20 degrees on a lot of things. Even he said, on his hinder, he got 20 degrees. I agree. 20 degrees.
I got 20 on this also.
Right. I did many knives just the other day. Almost not all of them, but majority of them were 20 degrees because you have to consider a lot of variables. one, obviously the thickness behind the edge and all that stuff, but also the choil. Are you going to wind up wrecking it and making it look like shit? Because that can be the difference between 17 degrees and 20 degrees can be whether or not you hit the choil, the plunge grind or not,
Yeah. Yeah, big
and,
time.
and,
You
and then
save
just,
time sharpening too.
there you go. That too.
You're
Yeah, definitely.
reprofiling.
Big
You're gonna
difference in
get down
time.
quicker.
For sure. And then, if somebody is a little bit tougher on their knife or wants to be a little tougher on their knife, there are some knives that it's like, you're that type of performance, you're not going to notice because it's not like that's your all day, like this is all I use type of knife, right? Like it's not your recycling knife. And I say recycling because when I think of recycling, I think of spending an hour cutting cardboard. But if it's just your EDC knife, it doesn't really matter as long as the geometry of the blade is really good. The geometry of the edge isn't crazy important as long as it's at least a good angle. That's all I'm saying. Like, obviously, you don't want
Yeah.
a 45-degree angle, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't like anything above 25 really is like 25 would be like the maximum that I would like, but
Yeah,
if
I
it's
won't. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
because it just it from what I've tried so far, it just doesn't keep an edge very long. That keen edge, it loses it super quick.
So quick. Yeah, I agree.
And
I usually
I
don't go
don't
above
use my knives
22.
hard enough to get the benefit from the extra toughness.
Yeah, 22 to 22.5 is about the highest I'll usually go, but I agree. When I've done 25 degrees, on super thick things, because there's times when I have to, because that's just what the knife will accept. But yeah, I don't like to. And yes, the edge retention goes down, the sharpness goes down, all of it goes down. Like it's not very sharp, it doesn't last very long. So many factors. Yeah, it's super tough, but it's not very sharp. Everyday
Yeah.
EDC asks, how do I know the difference between 17 and 20 when I freehand? Okay, so great question. I love that question.
Yeah,
So
that's a good one.
what I do is I already have a pre-measurement on my finger. So when I lay my finger flat on stone, and I have also one of those little angle finders that lay on the stone and it tells you an angle. Well, I can put my thumb up to that and see how high 20 degree is. So if I want exactly, I have one of those too. But for when you're doing a freehand, you can't use that. So, and he's got a digital angle finder there. I highly recommend those
Yeah.
for fixed angle systems. You can also use your phone, but those are really good because they have a magnet and you can just slap it right on. It's really quick. They're very affordable. But for freehand, bang, it just slaps right on. But for freehand, I have that little angle guide and I lay it on the stone. I can put my thumb right up to it and I can mark it. And that's 20 degrees. Now I already know what 17 degree is on my thumb because I've measured it before. So I know that the exact center of my thumb is 17 degrees. Now, a lot of times I won't even measure it because I already know that's 17. So if I go under that, I know I'm going to 15. If I go above it, I'm going 20. That's just the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So if I'm over 17, because I know I'm not at 25 degrees because I can't get that on my thumb. 25 degrees is just too high. My thumb's not big enough. So in under 15 or under 17 degrees, when I go under, I'm not going to go under because when you lay an edge down and you're doing 15 degrees, you're damn near laying the knife flat on the stone.
Yeah.
That's how flat it is. So I know I'm not under 15 degrees when I do it. But that is from a lot of trial and error and just use and knowing. But like I said, a good way to just range it is, an average size hand, the middle. And I don't know if it's perfect, but I'm just saying for me, I know 17 degrees is the center of my thumb right in the middle. Like literally, that's why you guys see that line when I put the line right here.
Like that.
Right. When I put the line on my finger right here, that is 17 degrees for me. And so when I put that on the stone, I can just take the spine of the knife. Now also I can choose to have the top of the spine or the bottom of the spine. But if I choose the bottom of the spine, then it's going to be more closer depending on the thickness, right? It's going to vary. That's why a lot of times I don't give an exact number. I say around 17 degrees. because I know it's, it can be 18, it might be 16 and a half. But to be honest, that's not that big of a difference. You usually a half a degree isn't, it's negligible. 2 degrees, now we're talking. But a half a degree, a quarter degree, you're not going to notice that. Even on a fixed angle system, the difference between a half a degree and a full degree is very, very tiny. Wow, 155. Never seen it. Yes, yeah, we've actually got 100 and almost 100. Oh, it's 7 o'clock, guys. So, all of you guys, thank you guys for everything. I really appreciate it. Can somebody please put OCD for EDC in the chat? I really appreciate it. Go and donate to Knife Rights. Here is the link. Thank you, Fiend. So, every donation, don't forget, you guys get every $10 donations is an entry into the giveaway. You can do as many as you want. Each one is a gets you an entry. So if you do $50, that's 5 entries. If you do $20, that's 2 entries. Every $10 is an entry. Just make sure you screenshot it and send it to their email on Knife Rights. So when you go to Knife Rights, they have the email. Just send it to their email. Send it to Knife Rights. Now, here is the link to OCD for EDC. Get your asses over there. I'm going to join you guys. I'll be right over there with you guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you to the patrons. We never even talked about fucking Doug Ritter. Shout out to Doug Ritter really quick. Doug Ritter, we talked a little bit about him, but founder of Knife Rights. Thank you for all you do. And I love you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Get your asses over to OCD for EDC. Peace.